Hello friends, today I'll be talking about Ghost City Girl by Simon Paul Wilson. And if you're new to my reviews, I like to go into books blind. So I will give you the very minimal amount of information because I don't want to ruin the experience for anyone. I'm not going to give you any major plot points or anything that happens in the story, even character names, because I want you to experience it for yourself. I don't want to ruin that experience for you. So I won't give you too much. I'll give you just enough to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So Ghost City Girl is a mix of science fiction, cyberpunk, and horror. Now that sounds kind of odd. It actually fits together really well. One of the things that I loved about this story is that there's this lush, vivid world left after you finish the book. There's this world full of possibilities left over, and it has some great world building. And I know some people, when they hear world building, like I do sometimes, I hear world building and I think, oh shit, there's a bunch of info dumps. There's going to be a bunch of just pages and pages of information that I just thrown at me. Not in Ghost City Girl. In this book, it is sprinkled in at the right times to push the story forward. Now, you do feel there's, the characters talk about the world as we go through it, and you get bits and pieces here and there. So it's almost like you're discovering a world as you go, but it doesn't leave you wondering too long to where it gets frustrating. It gives you bits and pieces enough for you to know enough to continue going on and be, invested and feel like you're part of the story. Now, those bits and pieces that we do get are horrifying and unexpected. So they do keep you entertained. They're not just information for information's sake. They're revelations that are sometimes shocking, but in a good way. Also, in this story, there is some great humor. Now, humor is hard to pull off in books. I admit that I'm picky when it comes to humor, just not only in books, but in general. I'm more of a fan of the dry, droll type of humor. That's just me and my personality. And I loved the humor in Ghost City Girl. There was a few times when I had to stop reading and laugh. I had to put my, you're reading and I had to put my finger in the book so I don't lose my place and just have a good laugh because there's some really great moments in here. And it's rare to find a book that will scare you and then make you laugh on the same page. But this is one of those books. Now, the first half of the book is more, setting up the foundation and more science fiction cyberpunk. The second half cranks up the action and more of the horror elements. But there is just a great story being told here, and I just can't wait for the second book. So I am, this is one of those books I just couldn't put down. I read the first 30 pages one night. The next day I started again, and I didn't want to touch anything else. I didn't want to do anything until I finished this book. I wanted to know what happened. This is also one of those books that leave you a lot to think about as you're reading, and it makes you look at our world and the future and things like that, but not in a negative, preachy kind of way. It's just makes you wonder, like, okay, are we headed to this type of world? There's certain aspects in the world that maybe pause and think, so like I said, I don't want to give you too much information, but I will tell you I had just a blast with this book. I had a great time with it. My only complaint is that book 2 isn't out yet. Now, no pressure on the author, on Simon Paul Wilson. He's a wonderful person. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to have the pitchforks out yet, but I am eagerly awaiting book 2 when it's ready. This was a book I read for a group read, and we are going to have a live discussion on the book in January of 2022. So once that discussion has happened, I will link it above. If you're watching this before our discussion, there's still time to jump in and join the fun. So have you read Ghost City Girl? If you have, let me know down below what you thought of it. As always, thank you for watching. I hope this review was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.